Continuing on the topic of tourism, I came across a very interesting article. I would say it came as an article, it came as a talk, it came as a, what do you call it, a thing on Facebook. And what was it? What happened? What has happened is the government of Delhi has introduced a new law stating that 1st January 27 or 1st July 27 or 1st January, I'm not exact about the date, I'm sorry, but I think it is 1st January 27, where it is going to be that all the vehicles like tourist taxis and tourist vehicles and TikToks as you call them, all tuk-tuks are all going to be only EV vehicles, so that it gives them an opportunity that you will reduce the pollution from which Delhi is suffering. That is one point. The other side, look at the other side. The government is giving subsidies. They are, I understand they are giving 30,000 in the first year, the second year giving 20,000, and the third year they are giving 10,000. That means the government is giving a subsidy of totally 60,000 rupees in 3 years for people to convert from all these diesel and CNG vehicles to EV vehicles. This gives a great opportunity for two things. A, manufacturing of EV vehicles and pollution control. And not only that, it benefits the person because silence is there. And the silence itself is like a top of site of meditation. When that silence expands, you are able to see that you are relaxed when you either go home or you go to a restaurant or you go to your office. You are relaxed at the time because there's no honking, screaming, no smoke on your face. You don't feel the pollution. You don't feel the breathing, finding it difficult to breathe hard. All these they all form a particular circle of operations. That circles of operation, as they grow like a ripple, it's going to be an opportunity for a union state like Delhi to have an interesting, reduction in pollution. They are also introducing EV cards. They are prohibiting, even B6. They are looking at introducing 100% ethanol, etc., fully flexed cars, and so that the pollution will come down. They are trying to bring in compulsory EV cars. All these are being regulated by the government of Delhi. Why did I introduce this topic? The reason why I'm linking this with tourism is I travel to most of the tourist spots all over India, and especially to the game sanctuaries. Now, game sanctuaries are what you call meditative places. Why do I call them meditative places? They should be kept silent because animals should not be disturbed with noise. If you want to see animals in their natural habitat, you should not go there with a loud, noise-making vehicle and rushing around, causing pollution in the air because you are using diesel vehicles or you are using CNG vehicles. If suppose, because I have traveled all over, I am able to see the amount the jeeps are maintained badly, the jeeps pollute the atmosphere, most of the jeeps are old, they rattle, and it doesn't form an interesting vehicle mode of transport for a tourist. So if suppose now we try to bring in the same legislation which the Delhi government has introduced into in the game sanctuaries, what is the goodness of that? The goodness of that is that the game, when we go by a EV, there is silence. When there is silence, the animals are not disturbed. And when they do not hear a disturbance, they are in the natural habitat. When they are not disturbed, they show their natural talent and the natural behavior. But when you make the noise with the diesel engine, because what happens is when you are waiting for a tiger to cross, for example, all the vehicles come there rushing, and the whole place is full of smoke and pollution. And when and every engine is shut down because nobody wants to make a noise when the tiger crosses. Okay, but after the tiger crosses, they start looking where they can catch up with the tiger again. So all the engines start at the same time. When all the engines start at the same time, you can imagine the amount of smoke and pollution that comes out of the vehicle of say 10 vehicles which come there. 10 vehicles all following the tiger because it is they try to catch up with it somewhere else. The amount of pollution, the noise, it disturbs the tiger's mentality. It disturbs it psychologically. And especially if it got cubs, it is more disturbed because it is scared. Whereas if we start introducing slowly, it may not be at one time, but slowly start replacing all these vehicles in the game sanctuaries with electric vehicles, the what happens is the silence will improve the facilities because the travel will be quieter for the tourist. The tourist will see more of the animals, more of the birds which fly away as soon as they hear a noise. Many of the birds do not come close because they hear the noise. They are so sensitive to noise. So suppose you leave, use a vehicle like this, the silence envelops the whole forest. When the silence envelops the whole forest, the animals think that they are not disturbed. When the animals think and they are observed in that particular position that they think that they are not being disturbed, they are in the natural habitat. More animals can be seen, more birds can be seen. So the flora and fauna can be wonderful to see if we are able to create and keep the atmosphere silent. To achieve that objective, I think the government should step in fully, just like the government here is giving subsidies. Subsidies should be offered to replace all those the diesel guzzling vehicles with EV vehicles, so that the people are benefited, and you can always charge the tourist guy higher because the tourist is willing to pay an extra 1,000 rupees for a visit. A bunch of say 10 people come, they are willing to pay an extra 5,000 rupees for all of them, and the cost can be met equally when we replace those diesel vehicles with good EV vehicles. The government, I think, should start looking at it with more positivity, especially this because this also attracts tourists. When we attract, people go all the way to Kenya, they go all the way to Namibia, they go all the way to Kruger to see animals. We have the same possibilities. Only thing is that we are not able to understand the methodology by which we will be able to exploit it. Because we have still not studied tourism in a very appropriate and proper manner. I think one more additional point which I would like to add is that a course, a course should be introduced in the curriculum of colleges, treating just like chemistry, just like mathematics or physics. There should be a course, specialized course, even a postgraduate course for tourism, because this is a great opportunity for India. And if you are able to get a good, people coming out of those courses, they can, the tourists are willing to pay well when they get good information and good feedback. If they are, they're kept safe, they feel comfortable, they feel, as you say, the inverted commas, cool, they don't feel challenged. When they feel relaxed, they are willing to pay more to that guide. And if the guide is excellent, I have seen people who are given 1,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees in India. And especially if a guide is excellent and he takes you around the places where you are able to see the good, what you want to see, good animals, not only tigers, any other type of animal which you want to see, birds, etc. It's a fantastic opportunity, and it's an opening for for the people of India, and it's an eye opener for the students who enter after their 12th to take this app as a specialty study, and they can include new photographic courses, etc. Because tourism is a fantastic opportunity. I think India should step into this world of tourism, and they can even, you say, it can improve their finances, and their game forest can be improved again. Thank you very much.